Hey, my name's Bonnie, streaming from Awabakal and Warramai Land, and this is The Good Stuff on Newcastle Live.
This is
Good.
good stuff.
The Good Stuff. Today we're having a chat with Nat's What I Reckon ahead of his show tomorrow night at the Cambridge Hotel. I'll tell you about a Pawsome pup playground, and Dan will tell us about a nostalgic steam train ride happening this weekend.
On Mondays and Wednesdays,
But first, it's time to find out what's happening around Newcastle and the Hunter tonight.
This is where it
sounds good.
good stuff.
Legally Blonde has officially kicked off at the Civic Theatre and will play tonight from 7:30pm. A Pint of Science Festival event will be happening at the Happy Wombat from 6. Swifties should head to TGI Fridays for a very special Taylor Swift trivia event, and the Rehab Brass Band will be live on stage at the Grand Hotel. To find out what else is happening around the region tonight, visit newcastlelive.com.au.
Newcastle Live. Newcastle Live.
City of Newcastle is wagging its tail in excitement as construction kicks off for a brand new fenced dog park in Maryland. This phenomenal facility will be situated at Maryland Drive Reserve right next to the existing leash-free area. The first stage will feature a fenced-off area, shelters with tables, dog bubblers, positively stunning landscaping with shady trees and sandstone seating. And the second stage of this doggy dreamland will feature an additional off-leash area which will separate the big woofers from the little woofers. So scamper on over to newcastlelive.com.au or check out our Facebook page to see what everyone's barking about. Now it's time for our chat with Nat's What I Reckon. The good stuff. Viral comedy champion, musician, mental health advocate and multi-award winning author Nat from Nat's What I Reckon will hit the stage at the Cambridge Hotel tomorrow night with his show Yeah Righto. So I'm absolutely stoked to welcome to The Good Stuff Nat from Nat's What I Reckon. Hello.
Hi, thanks for having me.
No problem at all. Thank you so much for joining us. So your YouTube channel was an absolute saving grace for me and thousands of others during the pandemic. So what was it that inspired you to create your channel in the first place, and why was it all based around food?
Well, that's the funny thing, right? So the channel originally had nothing to do with cooking. So this has been going for close to 10 years now. I kind of cut my teeth making videos about just the most ridiculous things, really. Like the big kickers early on were like stuff to do with me swanning about trade shows and boat shows and like caravan shows, intentionally trying to piss myself off for a laugh. And that's what I started doing. And then, long story short, the lockdown thing kicked in and there was no more of that. And yeah, what I'm usually doing when I'm not, taking the piss and carrying on is do that on camera, and cook food. So I was like, well, why don't I was in a share house at the time. There was like 10 of us in this share house.
Wow.
Like, well, maybe I'll try and shoot some cooking stuff. And things just skyrocketed. So I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah. So creating for 10 years, I mean, was there ever a moment where you felt kind of burnt out or close to giving up? Because, if you've been doing it for such a long time. Yeah.
No, sorry. Yeah, like all the time, to be honest. It's pretty back then it was a bit easier, I suppose, but easier in different ways, like working in, I'd film stuff while I was at work, which I probably shouldn't have been doing, but just making working in a truck, moving furniture around and trying to film my day and, do have a laugh about just everything on earth that makes me laugh.
Yeah.
But then there's the knockoff from jobs like that where you knock off at the time you knock off, Now I just don't knock off. It's just always, and I'm, overachieving in all sorts of areas where I've otherwise considered myself a bit of an underachiever. So yes, it's easy to get overwhelmed and stressed out and stuff, but it's it's a bit of a journey, I suppose. You're busiest when you work for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially as a creative. So do you have any tips for others that are in a similar position to you? that feel like they can't switch off?
In respect to switching off, I mean, it's a weird one. Everything's different for everyone. My things that help me switch off are going to be different to yours or someone else's maybe. But it's hard to give yourself a break, isn't it? Like if you're someone who's driven and a bit of a perfectionist, or jailed by your creativity, you're the only chill out you'll do is to kind of try and semi-satiate that, but not. You don't want to turn it too much into your work that you don't like. So I don't know, if you've got something that has nothing to do with your job, video games, for example, there's something I didn't let myself play for years because I thought they were a waste of my time. Now I've got to do that because it's just end of the day. Jules and I hang out, we play some games because it has nothing to do with work. I can't, unless I'm playing like a one-armed cook game or something like that. There's no cooking going on. There's no creating. It's just, a bit of chewing gum for your brain.
Yeah.
If you've got something like that, go jump in the ocean. I mean, it's probably cold now, but even better.
Totally. And what games are you playing at the moment?
Oh, I'm playing, I play stacks of stuff, but the one that's really switching me off, which is going to make me look like a dated old gamer, but is Terraria. It's a strange.
Yes.
Yeah, you cross it. Yeah, so Jules and I have been playing a bunch of that. I think I've sunk about 60, 70 hours into just digging down to mine something for no reason, just to build a house.
Because it's kind of like, it's like 8-bit Minecraft, right? In a way.
Exactly, yeah. I just dipped my toe in the Minecraft pool champion. So, yeah, I may see you on the flip side of that in 20 years.
Yeah, can't wait. Yeah, we've just finished playing some GTA and we've been obsessed with Fortnite, and we're the same. It's such a great way to switch off and just feel like a kid for a minute.
That's it. Have you been playing GTA online?
Hell yeah. Yes. Bit of GTA.
That's a real scene, that is. Yeah, I had a crack at that for a minute. That gets out of hand fast.
Yeah. So look, you've written 3 best-selling books, and your most recent was mental health focused and called Life, What Not to Do. So what inspired you to be so open about your mental health struggles, and how has it resonated with your audience?
I'm still not great at this answer. I think I know that talking about mental health stuff is really scary for a lot of people, and there's a lot of stigma and sort of words used to describe how tricky and dynamic the world of struggle is with people's mental health. For me, it's something I communicate about a lot as a means of coping and, for the benefit of the people around me. But I didn't do it on my channel for a long time. It was kind of, I suppose, fairly visually evident that I'm not, that there's probably something's happened in my life, but depends, who you ask. But the talking about, I've said little things, little bits and pieces on my page before about, just having a bit of a hard time, or I've reviewed depression and anxiety, for example, and the response I got was so monumental that I was like, fuck, I am here to talk about this with you, champions. Like I'm okay to talk about that stuff. And that's, it's still, as someone who's really chronically anxious and, an overthinker, it's been a bit of a slow process, but now I'm here doing, trying to do it in my style and take the piss out of just, the latest book is about superfluous advice. Everything happens for a reason and crap like that. And just getting stuck into the live, laugh, love kind of bulldozer opinions on how to self-care. So that's been, I'm lucky. I'm lucky to have a platform where I can, I can communicate that stuff. So I feel both grateful and, like a lost child in a supermarket sometimes. Just, I'm just kind of don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just talking and hoping it inspires other people to do the same and have a laugh.
Brilliant. So talking about your show, which will hit the Cambridge tomorrow night here in Newcastle.
Yes.
How do you translate a show, from talking to a camera to being in front of an audience full of people? Like, how does your show translate to being on stage?
Well, that's the thing, right? I suppose, and if you have done the deep dive boat show level kind of, that's what I reckon, you'll know just how weird the channel get, and how, I was doing stand-up a little while for, not prolifically, but for a little bit before the cooking show stuff started. So a lot of it is stand-up, and but this show focuses a bit on like having a laugh at how intense life can be, and we have themes of all sorts of stuff. It's hard not to give away the show, but like I have in some shows flown the microwave around the country thinking that was a good idea. So this show is equally as weird and wild, and it's been getting an awesome response. So yeah, and I'll be in Newcastle where I was born. So
you were born here. You're a Novocastrian.
But yeah, so up until the age of 2, I just had enough by then, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got kicked out of all the pubs by 2 years old and just had to move. Yeah, I was born at Waratah Hospital, I believe.
Wow. Wait, that's the Mater, isn't it?
Probably. It was a long, long time ago now. Yeah.
Can't remember it too vividly.
No, I was there, but yeah.
Look, I've got one more question for you. I know that you go on about how, we need to kill jar sauce. And as someone that's a really terrible cook, I'd love to know, is there a single jar sauce out there that is passable in your books?
Oh.
Is there any that, could make the cut?
Yeah. My mate Alice Zaslavsky has tumami paste that she makes. It's like it's in a jar, and it could be a sauce. That is awesome, that shit. But that's not trying to be what the I won't drop any brand names here, but the jarred bechamels of the world.
Yeah.
Those things tend to scare me. But yeah, the reason I don't like all that stuff is because it's just, I don't think you are a bad cook. I don't think anyone's a bad cook. It's just all made to look like it's too difficult, and it's quite defeating sometimes when you don't cook things the right way. And yeah, I suppose that's my mission, is to be like, that bechamel in the jar is like a bit creepy. But
very creepy.
So yes, Alice, yes. Rest and no.
Yeah, no, not a vibe. Well, Nat, thank you so much for spending some time with us today. I can't wait for your show tomorrow night at the Cambridge Hotel. It's been awesome to chat.
Yep. Cheers, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Good stuff.
All aboard! Train buffs from around the Hunter will be jumping aboard the picnic train this weekend for a very special ride between Broadmeadow and Awabba. The 1-hour journey will be pulled by the very impressive steam locomotive 5917, as riders enjoy the hospitality of the group's volunteers aboard the retro carriages. Everyone who's been aboard the picnic train tells us about the great experience they've had on this living museum on rails. So if that's your thing, toot toot, over to Newcastle Live to find out more.
Good stuff. That's just about it for the good stuff today. We'd love to say a huge thank you to Nat from Nat's What I Reckon for spending some time with us today ahead of his show at the Cambridge Hotel tomorrow night. Coming up tomorrow, we'll be joined by the incredible local band Well. Head over to the Newcastle live stream right now to catch the premiere of their title track from their debut EP. Thanks again for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. for more of the good stuff.